So we had a terrorist attack that happened in Portland, Oregon. Now, we had a radical Caucasian terrorist on the train, and you had two Muslim women that was minding their own business. And this terrorist decides to start bothering them, telling them to get off of the train and get out of the country. He kept berating these women, and you had three individuals step in to try to put a stop to his terrorism. And this fool took out a knife and cut these men on their throats in this terrorist attack. Let's go roll the clip.
Around 4:30, during the heart of Friday evening's commute, violence erupted on a Green Line train heading to southeast Portland.
I haven't seen this in my life, just on the movies.
Witnesses say two young women, possibly Muslim, got on the train at the Lloyd Center stop. Almost immediately, witnesses say a man started yelling, spewing hate-filled speech, targeting a variety of religions and ethnicities, most of it directed at the women. Police say one was described as wearing a hijab.
To get out to the bus, so you can get out to the country, because you don't pay taxes in here, and he doesn't like Muslims because they're like criminals.
Police say several commuters stepped in, trying to calm the man and escort him off the train. That's when Evelyn Hernandez says he pulled out a knife.
Take out the knife and cut three of the guys on the neck.
Two men fell to the ground. Arsenia Bertel banged on the door to alert the train operator, who was calling police. The train stopped at the next station, the Hollywood Transit Center.
When he got off the train, I saw he was holding a knife, and then he says, "Don't follow me," you know.
Commuters and first responders quickly performed CPR, but it was too late. One man died at the scene. A second passed away en route to the hospital. A third man was hurt, but is expected to be okay. The suspect was caught in a nearby neighborhood.
It's horrific. And there's no other word to describe what happened today.
Portland Police Sergeant Pete Simpson says the three victims were simply defending the woman, trying to do what was right.
For the victims, our thoughts and prayers are with their families.
This is video from a free speech rally in April, which was organized after the 82nd Avenue of Roses parade was canceled due to the threats of violence. Front and center right there, Jeremy Christian with a flag draped over his back.
This is my soapbox in Portland, Oregon, the Northwest.
He's screaming at protesters. He's known as a lone wolf who tries to stir the pot at rallies. Sometimes he even advocates for violence.
I am the dude that promoted shooting anyone that tries to disarm me.
Organizers say they tried to distance themselves from Christian because he causes problems.
Really hateful, man.
Joey Gibson spoke to us via FaceTime about that April rally, which he helped organize. He says they never wanted him there and don't associate with him.
Very negative, was yelling and screaming, trying to cause division.
Meanwhile, we stopped by Christian's North Portland home. No answer. No one answered our phone call either. Neighbors didn't want to talk on camera, but say he lives with his parents, who are nice folks. Neighbors haven't seen them since yesterday. No one could think of any major problems there in the past. Jeremy Christian also has a long criminal history, including this. It's archive video from a 2002 robbery in North Portland. Police say Christian ran off, and they eventually shot him in the cheek. Christian was charged with robbery, kidnapping, and more. Police are looking into his history, including his extremist ideology. They say he's not a gang member and does not have a known mental health history.
Now, the terrorist's name is Jeremy Christian, and he was a known radical Caucasian terrorist. Let me show you a short clip of him at one of these Trump/freedom of speech rallies.
I got freedom of speech! Freedom of speech! Fuck all you niggers! Fuck all you niggers!
Whoa! This guy's been running around doing this mess for a long time. And when in this country are we going to actually take the time to admit that radical Caucasian terrorism has been a problem for hundreds of years? You always want to talk about what the Islamic terrorists are doing, and they don't need to be doing that either over here. But you never speak about the radical Caucasian terrorists. I am not calling them racist anymore. Calling them racist or calling them hate groups, they like those words. They love it, but they don't want to be called terrorists. If you are in the Ku Klux Klan, you're a terrorist. If you're in the alt-right, you're a terrorist. If you are a neo-Nazi, you're a terrorist. And if you sympathize with any of them, you are a terrorist sympathizer, period. There are white people that lost their lives at the hands of these radical Caucasian terrorists. And one thing that the history books in school do not show, which is amazing to me, even though Caucasian people is the one controlling the education in this country, they never speak about the Caucasian people that lost their lives at the hands of the terrorist group called the Ku Klux Klan. They never speak about how many white people were hung and beaten. They never talk about that. Why? Like they don't exist. Because that's not part of their heritage and not part of their history. Because, you know, we hold on to terrorism as a heritage. Let me tell you something, Caucasian people. Some of you that may be sitting on the sidelines saying it may have nothing to do with you. Understand something. These radical Caucasian terrorists have no problem harming you or killing you like these people in this video. Trust me on that. Now, I'm going to show you what the Muslim community did for these 3 people that stepped up and lost their lives. So I'm on a Launch Good page. I didn't even know about this particular site, but it's out there. It says Muslims unite for Portland heroes. Now, the 3 heroes that were killed and injured while defending 2 women from anti-Muslim harassment. Now, let's scroll. As you see this amount here that they're trying to raise for the families, for the victims. And as we scroll down, we look here and they talk about these heroes. But let's get down here. Ricky Best. Okay, this man was one of the 2 men killed in a brutal attack Friday aboard the MAX train. Was a Portland employee, an Army veteran, a one-time candidate for Clackamas County Commissioner. Best, 53, worked as a supervisor for the City Bureau of Development Services, said David Austin, a spokesman for the Portland Commissioner Chloe Udele. If I'm saying it right. Now, hero number 2, this man here is the other victim who lost his life on Friday. He graduated Reed in 2016 with an economics degree and worked for the Catalyst Group. His family released a statement Saturday afternoon, and you can see the statement here. Hero number 3. Surviving victim of the MAX train stabbing Friday, Micah David Cole Fletcher, 21, is a former Madison High School student who won a 2013 poetry competition with a poem condemning prejudice faced by Muslims. So these are the 3 people here that stepped up. 2 of them, this man here and this other man, lost their lives at the hands of a radical Caucasian terrorist. In this country, we need to start asking questions. When are we going to eradicate radical Caucasian terrorism? When? Don't think just because you're not the target of the terrorist because of your skin color that you're going to be okay. Even the sellout coons in our community, the terrorists are going to target you as well. And I'm explaining to you what's wrong with them, why they're getting so wild, why they're so amped up. Right now, they fear. Hear me. They fear right now. It's a fear that they're not going to be in the majority. I was on Twitter last night. David Duke had posted a picture talking about immigration and birth rates from other communities. It's going to cause them to be a minority in this country. And when they're a minority, these other anti-white groups are going to politically and economically and socially eradicate them. That's their fear. Why do they fear that? Because that's what they've been doing to everybody else. And they think that everybody's just like them. That's not something I would not want on my shoulders or in my mind, worrying about a next man or the next woman that's going to do me something because I know the dirt I've been doing people for hundreds of years. That's not nothing I want. See, the problem is people like David Duke and these other Caucasian terrorists who think like him. Your time is up. Sorry to tell you that. Your time's up. It's not me making the decision. God's made the decision. It's him who have prevented you from expanding. He's the one that has passed barrenness to your situation, not me, not no other groups of people. Because when you look globally, you're not having children globally, so low that you would not be able to sustain your group. Only person who could do that is God, period. We don't have a problem in the black community doing that, making children. Actually, Africa has over 1 billion people there right now, so there's no problem having children over there either. Also, when your women get with men of other races, they have children. I noticed that. They're not complaining that, man, you know, I'm with a white lady and she can't have no kids. Never hear that problem. Only when David Duke is with you. So don't get mad at me. I'm just saying that, you know what? God and also the ancestors, maybe it's time they working together, and it's time, because you're going to see more and more of this terrorism, guys. It's only getting started. Trust me. Yes, maybe Trump gave them some stroke to be bold, but Trump is not telling them to do this. I want to make sure to put that out there. He's not telling them to do any of this, but also he's not stopping them either. Because if it was a bunch of Muslims or blacks or Hispanics or anybody else, Trump would be on this. Notice he ain't tweeting this stuff out, or is he? Everybody in this country, including Caucasian people, if you want to save this country, you have to eradicate the radical Caucasian terrorist. Everything that he loves, everything that he and she is about, including their Confederate monuments. You got to get rid of anything that they hold dear, unless you don't want this country anymore. And of course, we all live here. Why are you going to let terrorists destroy the nation from within? Think about the victims in this terrorist attack. They were just trying to do the right thing and lost their lives at the hands of a terrorist, a known Neanderthal at that. Nothing but hate in his heart. This stuff got to stop. Everybody needs to work together to end radical Caucasian terrorism. This is why I've posted this on my Twitter page. End radical Caucasian terrorism with a hashtag. Now, much as I mentioned terrorism in this video, I know it's going to get demonetized, whatever. That's why we are glad that the people support us so we can talk about things. Don't worry about ads, because not like we're getting them anyway right now. But this situation, we all got to get together on this. Seriously. And really think about this. Do you want your country to be a cesspool of terrorists, or do you want your country to be a place of peace? And you can't depend on Donald Trump to do it or Jeff Sessions to do it. It has to be done by the people. Make sure you join me on Patreon for a minimum of $2 or $5 per month. And on Patreon, we give exclusive videos, information about the platform we don't share publicly, and discounts on merchandise. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this story, because this is very serious. These terrorist attacks are happening every other day, and it must be stopped. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.